Am I the asshole for getting up and leaving a local gaming tournament after my BF's friends harassed me? So I, 21F, have been dating my boyfriend, 20M, for 3 years. We got accepted into the same college and both of us tried out for our uni's Valorant team this last school year. I got in, he didn't. This has caused a huge issue in our relationship, but I thought we worked through it. Well, there was a local gaming tournament for Val and my boyfriend begged me to play. First place prize was $1,200. Now I have been Radiant before. It's the highest rank you can be in the game. Right now I'm sitting a tier below that. My boyfriend's friends were going to join us and are all a little lower rank than me. Well, we got into our bracket today and I carried the hell out of them for 4 matches, like 30 plus kills each game. But we lost our 5th one. They started making passive-aggressive comments at me and I just choked. Well, 6th game comes around and they start making really sexist comments like, "Damn, girls really don't belong in games, huh?" Or, "Did your boyfriend carry you up? You are trash. Get back to the kitchen like a good girl." I thought my boyfriend would be mad, but he was just laughing with them. Halfway through our game one of the boys said, "Jesus, remind me to never ask a girl to play with us again." I'm pretty sensitive to that type of stuff and started crying. My boyfriend asked me to stop crying, it was just gamer banter and to just play the game. I told him he could go fuck himself and I stood up and walked out the gaming cafe. It's 12 AM now and my best friend just sent me tweets from a bunch of them and their friends saying shitty things about me and how unprofessional I am. My boyfriend won't even speak to me. He texted me that I embarrassed him. A lot of my online gaming friends are telling me to just apologize and own up to my fault of making them forfeit. My gaming team at my uni is telling me to break up with him and focus on their tournaments and to forget about him. Edit. Wow, I was not expecting this type of response. A sweet guy on my team said to 1v1 him tomorrow and if I lose he gets to send the breakup text. Lol. Thanks for opening my eyes. I really should have ended this relationship the moment he wasn't happy for me when I got in. Thanks, loves less than 3. Edit 2. So I broke up with him, I won the 1v1 lol, so we did it in person with my friends outside the dorm room. My team was there to support me and they all made sure I was okay and safe. A really kind Riot employee gifted me a Riot gun buddy and I'm very happily going to be showing it off during the tournament this weekend. Thanks for helping me see this wasn't the type of behavior I should put up with. And to all the men in my DMs angry and upset. I finally have the courage to say this: fuck you, I am better than you, so stop sending me angry, creepy messages. I might update this in a week and let you all know what happened during the breakup and how our tournament goes. Ex-boyfriend was very mad, but I'm the winner here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not the asshole. Ahs like that give all gamers a bad rep. You don't have to put up with that kind of shit. Getting harassed by a bunch of asshole guys is not gamer banter. And your boyfriend went along with that? That does seem worth breaking up over. Gaming team is spot on here. You are not the asshole. When a girl's got a boyfriend like this, who needs enemies? Screw that guy and his friends. 1000% walk away and know you're better for it. Loved ones, friends. They don't treat you like that, even if you did suck at a game. People who belittle others like that are straight up trash. Dump him and move on, friend. Not the asshole. When you win the game for them, then they think they do all the work. When the other team is better, they claim you are dragging them down. Your online friends are wrong. Ask them if they would help a team that just ditch on a single member to hide their own flaws. And your uni team is right. What he is doing is not friendship. Call it a break. Focus on your studies and play with a supporting team. Don't join this ass's team again, and next time you're both in the same tournament, kick his ass. My gaming team at my uni is telling me to break up with him and focus on their tournaments and to forget about him. Listen to them. They are the real professionals. Tell your hopefully ex-boyfriend that banter requires 2 willing participants. It's not a bunch of loser guys pissed a girl plays better than them harassing her to the point of tears. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I've been gaming for 15 years and have played with all types of people. Not once have I or the people I've chose to play with made sexist comments about women. They are terrible people, that's just who they are, and they are showing you that now. Besides, I have a feeling that if you guys won the tournament they would have to come up with a reason why you should get an uneven split of the prize money. They're saying sexist shit because you were caught off guard and you forced them to rely on their own skills to play. Wow. How horrible. What? They're mad that they needed to actually play the game good once the team carry takes a quick break from carrying. They have no skills themselves? No wonder they lost. And can I just say that the word, gamer banter, makes me physically cringe? It's been a while since I've had such a reaction to a pair of words, so congrats, I guess, to your boyfriend for sounding like a fucking alien. He said I embarrassed him. He can grow the fuck up and maybe not act like a limp noodle to appease his talentless, insecure friends. Or maybe he agrees with them, maybe that's why he didn't say anything. Neither scenario is good for you. Not the asshole. Reading this made me sit and think for a second. This is like totally the fucking dream of a ton of gamers out there, but he just fucked it. I'd be hella proud if my girlfriend was better at Valorant than me. Hell, I'd genuinely beg her to carry me. Or just watch her play and learn. Not the asshole whatsoever. Opening parenthesis colon dot. And hash x200b. AL significant other also, drop that person ASAP. And fuck his friends. Not the asshole. Gamer banter belongs in the garbage alongside those team mates. You don't owe them an apology, and they absolutely deserve to forfeit. Real team members support one another and look for ways to improve their play, not single someone out for some stupid insecurity-fueled reason, heap blame on them, then throw them to the wolves. You're the professional, not them. Am I the asshole for treating my daughter-in-law like a child when she was acting like one? My son and his wife have been staying with us for about a month now while they prepare to move into a new place in May. My wife and I enjoy having them with us, and for the most part my daughter-in-law is lovely, but she is very messy. I'm retired from the army and I have always run my house to a certain set of standards, and I expect them to be followed even by guests. My son has often described his wife as someone who prefers clutter, and she generally likes to have things where she can see them. But after I voiced my displeasure over the clutter in the guest bedroom they are presiding in as well as in the guest bath they use every day, she did begin to decrease this amount of clutter, but not to the standards I would like in my home. My dill still leaves her makeup out in the bathroom until she gets home in afternoons because she runs out of time in the mornings to put them up. To her credit, she does clean everything once she gets home, but I don't appreciate having to stare at the mess for hours until she does get home. I tried handling privately with my son in hopes he could talk to her, and while he did agree, he mostly made excuses about her behavior, equating it to a unstable home life growing up with incompetent parents and in the foster system towards her later teen years. I admit she still is quite young at 20, but my kids knew how to clean up after themselves before they were out of elementary school. My frustrations over the situation grew to head one day when yet again she left out makeup in the bathroom, and in response I took a trash bag and placed all the makeup and everything underneath the sink that was hers as well, and then in the guest bedroom every piece of clothing she owned, etc. I had no intention of actually throwing her belongings in the trash, but I wanted to show how serious I was on the matter, and I thought maybe handling it how I would have handled a teenager would have given her a bit of a wake-up call, since she had seemed to miss out on it in her childhood. My dill came home before my son, and when she discovered her things in the trash bags outside of the front door I could tell she was rather shell-shocked. I didn't yell, but I was stern when I explained that her behavior had been very disrespectful and if it continued she would have to leave my house. My dill didn't say much and just looked at me with wide eyes the whole time, and then when I was done she apologized and took all of her things back inside the room she was staying in. I could hear her crying, which seemed to me to be dramatic, and when my son got home he apologized for DIL's messiness but said that the way I handled the situation was too far. I told him it was my house, my rules. Now my dill has been keeping all of her things in her car and won't even place them in the house at all. She has also become very reserved when I am around, but is completely fine around my daughters and wife. The mess stopped, but now there is an awkwardness in the house. Why are you spending hours in the guest bathroom staring at her makeup? Your standards seem unreasonable. It sounds like your dill's untidiness is confined to non-communal areas of the house where she should have some expectation of privacy, and it doesn't sound like there's an actual hygiene risk involved. You are the asshole. The guest bath. I don't appreciate having to stare at the mess for hours until she does get home. Info. I'm confused. Do you usually spend hours in the guest bathroom? Is that where your home office is? You are the asshole. You say this was the guest bedroom and bath. That means you were snooping through stuff that didn't concern you. After you hear that your daughter-in-law wasn't taught everything by a drill sergeant and was put into foster care, you decide to invade her privacy even more and throw her stuff outside. You couldn't have been a bigger asshole if you tried. Don't expect too many visits from your son's family in the future. Actually, don't expect to ever see them again. You brought this in yourself. She was in the foster system, and you put her stuff into bin bags? Wow. I imagine that hurt in a way you can't even conceive of. Even if it wasn't for that aspect, you'd still be a major awe. You are the asshole, and try to loosen some of that unbearable tension in your anus, chill out a bit. You are the asshole 100%. Had a stepfather that was retired from the military. He was probably one of the people I hated the most. And you sound almost exactly like him. You're not in the military anymore. It's almost pathetic you have to take authority from other people by running your house like a hard ass. They are adults. They don't need you telling them how to live or how to clean their room. Or their bathroom. Unless there was rotting food, animal carcasses and rodents in their room, you should shut up. If your behavior described in the body of your post is how you handled your kids, they must hate your guts. I wouldn't be expecting an invite to her home once they move in. You pretty much burned that bridge forever. She lived in foster care. She learned there that her personal items weren't safe. You put her stuff in garbage bags. She knows she's not safe around you. She knows you are a threat at all times, in all circumstances. You can't apologize your way out of this. You have shown who you are with your actions. Say goodbye to your son, hope he has a good life, and don't try to meet his kids. You're a threat to them. You are the asshole. She's not acting like a child, you are. The way you wrote this made me so uncomfortable to read. I can't imagine how you made her feel in person. Yikes. You're obsessive and clearly do not understand how intimidating and off-putting you can be when you're annoyed or serious. Please see a professional who can hear you objectively and give you their opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, you are the asshole. Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay for the damages after a scare prank? About 3 months ago, I had a home invasion. It was scary. I have had trouble sleeping since then. Unrelated to that, my boyfriend's family is a fan of pranks. I've already told them all that I don't like it directed towards me. Anyway, my boyfriend and I were visiting his family and having a barbecue, drinking some beers outside. I went inside to use the bathroom, and when I was heading back out, I saw a man in a ski mask hiding at the end of a dark hallway, mostly hidden by a door. I fled for the closest doors out, this pair of stained glass double doors. I tried the handle and it didn't open, even when I pulled really hard. So in a panic, I grabbed a heavy-looking end table, broke the glass, and ran outside screaming, "Call 911 inches." My boyfriend's dad ran out of the house holding the mask. I was immediately pissed. I yelled at him for scaring me. He was upset with me about the glass, and I just broke down and cried about how I was scared as shit. This was another real home intruder situation since that had recently happened to me. His mom was getting at me asking why I had to break the glass, and I said I was scared and the door wouldn't open. She said it was a sliding door. Which made sense, I was pulling on it. But I'd forgotten that in my panic. Anyway, his dad apologized for scaring me and said he had been waiting for one of his sons or wife to play a joke on them, and when he saw me he just hung back quickly, not trying to do the prank, which was apparently going to be leaping out at someone. But I still saw him standing in the shadows, which I freaked out at. I said that of course I was freaked out by a man in a ski mask hiding in the house, especially when I was alone and drunk. But anyway, after a few days, my boyfriend told me that his mom wants us to cover the cost of the stained glass doors I broke, which is $3,500. But my boyfriend doesn't have that kind of savings and his parents know it. So that would mean it's all on me. And I honestly don't think I should owe them for that. Like honestly, if you try to scare someone shitless, it's on you if they break something when they panic. I want to tell them that it's a total joke, they're even asking me for the money. But my boyfriend actually thinks we should pay. He says I knew it was a sliding door, plus I didn't have to break it. I told him that even though I'd used it a while ago, that's not the thing you remember, especially when you only have a minute to act. And honestly, he should be proud he's got a girl with the common sense to think on her feet and act fast. If it was a real break-in, I'd have saved my own ass and also alerted everyone else sooner than anything. He said the door was really expensive and I said I didn't give a fuck. If I had to light $1 million of flame to save my own ass, I would. There's no price on that kinda thing. Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay for the door? Edit to add. I sent an email to my boyfriend's parents. Here's what it said. They haven't replied yet and I'm not sure if they will, to be honest. Hey. About paying for the door. It isn't appropriate you were angry with me for breaking a door when BF's father's actions made me fear for my life and I only broke it to save my life. I didn't break it to be vindictive. I broke it because he put the fear of death into me. I can't conceive of how you all don't understand that creeping around a dark hallway in a ski mask with your hands out of view could be seen as a threat to my life, and something completely inappropriate to do. But I'll still try and explain. That is the behavior or a home intruder, a stalker, a person who may wish me harm. I had a man stalk me for a year and recently break into my apartment when I was sleeping. He behaved similarly to BF's father, quietly sneaking through my home. I was luckily able to subdue him until the police arrived. He is imprisoned now. But that experience caused me to get a pistol for home defense and train on how to use it. That is the level of seriousness I take a home invasion. It isn't a joke, and it isn't silly or funny. It is life-threatening. And that little joke made me believe wholeheartedly that I was going to die if I didn't fight or escape by any means necessary. If you are angry about a door, I ask you to reflect on why you value a door over the life of your son's girlfriend. Because expecting me to avoid property damage when running for my life, or trying to blame me for it after the fact. That communicates to me that my life has less value to you than $3,500. And that is something I will never accept. I did what I needed to protect myself, and I would do it again regardless of the cost. And if you don't respect that, and don't take full financial responsibility for the consequences of BF's father's joke, you have to understand that you are telling me my life and safety is worth less to you than a door. I'm frankly disgusted that you would even ask me for money after that, rather than trying to make amends. Not the asshole. That's the price you pay when you play shit pranks on people. It doesn't matter if you knew it was a sliding glass door when you're in flight or fight mode, you're not thinking of small details. You're literally trying to do anything to survive what you're thinking is a dangerous situation. Let this be a $3,500 lesson to quit playing with people. Do not pay one single cent to those petty people. Edit. And I'm absolutely sure they knew about the previous home invasion. So they are even more the assholes in this situation. WTF? Not the asshole at all. And if your boyfriend seriously cares more about a fucking stained glass door than about the fact that his dad scared the shit out of you after a traumatic event, I would probably consider stripping him of that title and staying the fuck away from these pranksters. Not the asshole. You were literally afraid for your life. A harmless prank is placing a bucket of water above the door, not making someone think they have someone that can murder them in the house. Making fun of someone's traumatic experience is simply cruel. If you pay for that door, you're only inviting them to keep walking all over you. Edit. Guys, when I said, bucket of water, I was referring to the type of kids' cartoon prank. I didn't take into account the actual mechanics of it, sorry. Please imagine a plastic salad bowl placed above the door instead of a bucket. Not the asshole. Incredibly poor judgment, bordering on cruelty, on the part of this family. When you trigger someone who has experienced severe trauma, the repercussions are owned wholly by you. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. They pulled the trigger, they can pay for the door. My biggest concern is that they'll resent you for it. I hope $3,500 isn't much for them and you all can just move on. Not the asshole. They played stupid games and won a stupid prize. Plus, what kind of bougie people have a $3,500 sliding door? Not the asshole. I don't like pranks in general, but this isn't a prank. People die from this type of behavior. What if you had a gun or attacked him to defend yourself? You also recently suffered a break-in. Why even consider doing this while you are in the house? The fact that your boyfriend and his family don't understand that is worrisome. It's not a family I could be a part of. This relationship has shown you the type of person you can be in a crisis. Take that as a parting gift from the relationship and move forward. Not the asshole. This is all on his dad for planning a prank by a breakable, expensive door. Not the asshole. I wouldn't pay for it. This was 100% their fault for doing that. Your reaction was understandable if you'd had a real home invasion. Am I the asshole for ordering sushi to make a point? My 40F partner, 40M, does most of the cooking. I do other tasks around the house, like cleaning the bathrooms and fixing stuff. We do not always eat together, the same meal, because we work different hours and we enjoy the freedom of eating while we want. So sometimes he'll make cauliflower for one, his fav. But I'm not a fan, and I'll make a salad. Tonight he wanted to make mac and cheese for the both of us. Then we have this text convo. Me. Yum. We're out of cheese, can you get some on your way home? Him. We still have cheese in the fridge. Me. Nope. I checked and we're out. Him. Are you sure? ETA. I was working from home, which he knew, and physically checking the fridge. I wasn't just guessing that we were out. Hence saying I checked. He does this all the time. He's not a mansplainer, but he is very insecure, I guess, and he's 100% a man-questioner. I dislike it because 1. Please just believe what I tell you. 2. All these questions are making me double-guess myself. I've straight up told him that we had that discussion many times. ETA 2. All of you saying I should just use my words to communicate my dislike at the repeated questioning. Please practice your reading comprehension on the preceding sentence, carrot. Consider that my blanket reply to, but did you talk to him about it? Comments less than 3. This time, rather than assure him, yes, I'm sure, I just stop replying. If he thinks we have some imaginary cheese left over in the fridge, fine, he can use that for the MNC. Meanwhile, I know we're out of cheese, so and here's where I may have been the asshole. I place an order for sushi. For 1. Partner gets home, checks the fridge. Surprise, we're out of cheese. He proposes to make noodles instead, and I tell him to go ahead and cook for 1 because I'll eat something else. He makes the noodles, sits down to eat, and the delivery guy shows up with my sushi. Partner gets angry, well, more annoyed than angry, because 1. He likes sushi too. That's not the reason I picked sushi. I would have gotten Chinese if I just wanted to eat his all-time fav meal alone, but it is usually something we order together. 2. Delivery times in our city are ridiculously long, so he knows I placed that order well before he came home and made noodles. Am I the asshole? I could have ordered sushi for 2 and my partner would still have gotten the message about the incessant, "Are you sure?" and enjoyed the sushi with me. Too long did not read. I ordered sushi solely for me because I was fed up with my partner asking, "Are you sure?" when I already checked. Here. Was I sure we're out of cheese for the mac and cheese? I might be the asshole cuz he would have gotten the point even if I ordered sushi for 2. Petty, yes. Asshole, no. Not the asshole. If he would have listened to you, you both would have had mac and cheese. Ha ha ha. I enjoyed that story. Not the asshole. I mean, FFS, you have told him. I know people always want to see things with their own eyes, but seriously, you already effin' told him. I doubt that he will stop his insecure questions, but maybe it will give him pause. Not the asshole. Your partner is a grown man. He needs to start trusting you and stop questioning you if he wants this relationship to work. My boyfriend used to do this often, and I had sat him down several times to tell him to please not question everything I do because it makes me feel stupid. It never worked. Cue the switch to me questioning him constantly and telling him he just doesn't know things. He got the hint after that. Sometimes you just have to be their mirror. Not the asshole. As an ongoing issue, talking to him hasn't worked. This seems the alternative to opening his eyes. Not the asshole. If it were the first time this happened, I'd say esh, but it wasn't, and not having sushi is just the price he had to pay for doing it again. I, too, am married to a man-questioner. Thank you for giving me a name for this. Though we've been married a long time and now it's only an occasional issue. I'm going to go with not the asshole, because this sounds like a long-running pattern. He asked you, you answered, he didn't believe you, and didn't stop for cheese. After a while, it starts to feel disrespectful and infantilizing. Not the asshole. This was up there with, you know, what you should do, coming out of my husband's mouth. The only things that worked for me was, don't ask me if I'm sure, tell me why you're not. Which tended to expose which times he was just doubting to be doubtful over my judgment. And also turning it on him. Which was probably shitty of me, but definitely exposed his double standards about how he was allowed to make me check and recheck things that I knew to appease him, but he would get very angry if I expressed doubt with what he said. This was one of those things he picked up from his dad, and once I was able to get through to him, he was willing to make the change. Not the asshole. You told him. He didn't believe you. You knew you wouldn't have mac and cheese, so you ordered food so that you wouldn't be hungry. Woman shrugging, medium light skin tone.